If you're lucky enough to pick up an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription over the holidays, and I should hope you are, then you're all set to start streaming hundreds of incredible games straight onto your console, your Samsung Smart TV, or perhaps even on your mobile device, where you'll find some handy-dandy new touch controls to take advantage of. So here's just a few cloud-ready titles that we here at Xbox On would particularly recommend.
Microsoft Flight Simulator recreates the topology of our entire planet using data from Bing Maps, complete with dynamic weather that matches real-world conditions and real-world air traffic, while whole areas are rendered in incredible detail thanks to the steady stream of regional updates. It's an absolute technological wonder of a game, giving aviation enthusiasts of all kinds a sprawling sandbox in which they can pretty much do whatever they like. Take on landing challenges, go off on epic cross-continental voyages, or just buzz about in a biplane being a bit of a nuisance. Naturally, such a vast and detailed world requires a whole lot of data, and installing the game will take up 156 of your finest gigabytes. But if you'd like to take off without delay and reserve plenty of storage space for the rest of your gaming luggage, take advantage of the cloud.
If you'd rather go the nautical route, then Sea of Thieves is another game that really benefits from the cloud. With all the treasure to be found, monsters to be fought, and general seafaring good times to be had, the pirate's life is just one non-stop adventure, trust me. So you're gonna love being able to hop aboard even when you don't have your console at hand. It's a game that really comes alive when you've got a good crew to go sailing with as well, and being able to check what your friends are playing and then immediately hopping into that game with them, even if you don't currently have it installed, makes it way easier than ever to keep your gang together. Until it's time to, divvy up the treasure at least. Then things might get a bit awkward.
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can stream their way through the entire Yakuza saga, cracking skulls all across Kamurocho as they delve into a series of epic tales about life in the Japanese underworld, which, as it turns out, involves a lot more go-karting, disco dancing and karaoke than you might think. However, the high-octane brawling action of the main series might put your bandwidth to the test if you're streaming over a less than fantastic connection. And that's where the last installment, Like a Dragon, comes in. Here, you'll find all the same wacky humor, wonderful world building, and over-the-top violence, only now it comes in turn-based form. So there's no danger of you getting hit in the face with a mounted bike just because your connection dropped off a little.
However, Bex, if a life of crime sounds a little bit too stressful around this time of year, then you can always seek out a quieter life out in the hills of Stardew Valley. This open-ended country life RPG is one of the gentlest games ever created. I don't need to tell you, you know all about this game already, but it invites you into a charming rural world where you build a home, work the land, and even, if you want, raise a family. The game's charming town is populated with plenty of equally charming characters for you to get to know, and as far as I'm aware, none of them have ties to organised crime, but I have my suspicions about a few of them. There's always something that needs doing when you live on a farm, so the cloud is great for getting a few tasks done on your tablet or mobile to keep things in order. Between the game's tranquil pacing and its 16-bit aesthetics, it makes the perfect game to relax with, safe in the knowledge that it won't put too much stress on your broadband either.
Can't decide between thrilling turn-based battles and laid-back social sim fun? Well then why not have a bit of both with Persona 5 Royale? In this acclaimed anime JRPG, you'll guide the game's teenage protagonist through his day as he makes friends, attends classes, and learns more about some of the dark secrets his fancy new school is harboring. Then you'll have the chance to delve into the heart of them by heading to the Metaverse, a fantastical subconscious realm in which the phrase personal demons becomes a whole lot more literal. It's a truly epic tale full of rich characters and shocking twists, one that you won't want to put down once you've started, and thanks to the cloud, you won't have to, even if someone else nabs the main TV.
We've already travelled by air and by sea, so why not hit the road with Forza Horizon 5? This game's Mexican map is by far the biggest map that this beloved open-world racing series has ever crafted, and it's absolutely jam-packed with secrets to uncover, challenges to complete, and billboards to smash. And believe me when I tell you that that last one is extremely satisfying. So if you're feeling the need for speed and you don't feel like waiting for the game to install, thankfully the cloud lets you go from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye. Plus, if you're having a particularly stressful day, it is the perfect way to hop behind the wheel and go for a nice relaxing drive.
In these wet, wintry months, there's nothing quite like curling up with a good book and losing yourself in its tale. And that's exactly what booting As Dusk Falls Up on your phone feels like too. This narrative adventure follows two families after one tragic night leaves their fates forever entwined. Rendering delicate, emotional performances into its painterly art style, it delves a tale that will hit you straight in the heart and throw in a few gut punches for good measure. It should leave your kidneys alone though. And if you don't like getting in your feelings all alone, you can even tag in your friends to go through it together online.
For another story-driven game that's a great fit for cloud gaming, take a look at the Danganronpa series, my dudes. The basic setup is the same in each of the three games. A group of unfortunate high schoolers find themselves caught up in a deadly game where they must kill each other off and get away with it to survive. Sort of like a live-action Among Us, only it's being run by a demonic teddy bear. It makes for a morbidly fascinating social experiment as you navigate a vibrant cast of characters and try to figure out who the killer is and why all of this is happening in a murder mystery that only gets darker and more devious as it goes along. Another excellent one, if I might add, to lose yourself in on your phone. Just expect some questions from anyone who happens to glance over your shoulder.
As a first-person shooter, Destiny 2 will require a solid connection for the best streaming experience, but if you've got the gear to support it, then you'll be able to dive right into one of the richest sci-fi universes around without even waiting for it to download. What's more, the RPG elements mean that you'll always have your eye on the next upgrade or armor piece to turn your Guardian into a true war machine. So being able to hop online and grind out some XP whenever you have a spare minute can be an absolute game changer. Mostly though, it's just incredibly cool to be a gamer at a time where you can boot up a huge, glitzy action game like this in a moment's notice, or even play it on your phone.
I'm going to finish up with a game that's every bit as intergalactic as Destiny, but not quite so action-packed. It's, of course, Genesis Noir. It wouldn't be wrong to call this a point-and-click adventure, making it an ideal fit for streaming, although it also wouldn't be wrong to call it a metaphysical jazz poem, an existential detective story, or a noir adventure about the origins of the universe. From its monochrome visual style to its mind-bending story, Genesis Noir really is a game like no other, I can promise you that. It's the sort that you have to feel your way through rather than trying to consciously understand, which might make the added immersion of the touch controls a real advantage here. You still probably won't be able to explain what it all meant by the end, just that it was really, really bleeding cool.
Of course, the best thing about cloud gaming is that if these games don't work for you, then there's about 371 more where that came from at the time of this video. Let us know what your favourite streaming titles are down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for all the latest Xbox info. Bye!